I'm Jesus, and in this video, we're going to be asking the question, was the knife trade-up update a good idea? Late last year, Valve made a massive change to how skins work. This smashed the market, upset lots of people in the playbase, and reportedly made someone fall from a high place in Minecraft, except that turned out to be fake news. But now that the dust is settling, we're going to try and figure out whether Valve actually did the right thing. Let's get into things. Now, this video is sponsored by Skinsmonkey, the trading site where you can quickly and easily trade your skins. Just log in, add your trade link, and you are good to go. All you have to do is select the items you want and hit the trade button. There's over 150,000 items to choose from, and if you use my code Zeus, you can get up to $5 off your first trade. And even if you're not interested in trading, the site holds free, daily, weekly, and monthly giveaways that you can enter completely for free. It's a great site, check it out, link is in the description. So the update we're talking about is pretty simple. Valve made it so you can use 5 red skins to trade up for a single gold skin. This was a big change to how skins work, and it smashed the market overnight. A huge number of knives and gloves had a catastrophic collapse, and a huge number of red skins that used to be dirt cheap are now really expensive. After the crash, the market recovered quite a bit, but it's definitely lower than it was before, and generally speaking, in recent months, demand has been quite weak. Now, at the time, there was quite a bit of speculation that this might be part of a scheme to get rid of cases. Basically, cases would be going and terminals would replace them, and the only way to get a gold after this change would be through a trade-up contract. Now, this was clearly wrong because we've got a terminal that sells golds now, and we'll get to what I think Valve's motivations were later in the video, but first things first, we need to focus on the question, and the question is, was this update a good idea? Since we can't get an anti-cheat, can we at least say the trade-ups update was a good thing? Well, let's start by just talking about the prices. This update brought down the price of a lot of knives and gloves by a lot. Now, affordability is a popular talking point. It's also something that's kind of impossible to define. Knives were still a lot cheaper in 2016 than they are today, for example, but one thing's for sure, they're definitely cheaper than they were before the recent update. And at the same time, a lot of red skins that were worth fuck all are now worth a decent amount, so pulling one from a case is a lot more exciting than it used to be. So this is kind of a win-win, isn't it? Terry from Ohio can get the knife he wants for a lot less, and when he opens the Dreams and Nightmares case that he got as a drop and gets a Starlight Protector, it's actually worth getting excited about now. So, do these changes make this update a good idea? Well, there are some problems. Firstly, a lot of red skins that used to be really affordable are now very much not affordable, so in that respect it's been a double-edged sword. Secondly, making cases more fun to open probably isn't actually good for CS players when you consider what cases are. But there's also counterpoints to this as well. If you want a cheap MP9 for example, well, there are alternatives to the Starlight Protector. But if you want a cheap knife, well, there aren't really any other options, so having them be more affordable has a bigger impact. And secondly, ethics aside, Counter-Strike players just love cases, so I doubt the average player is upset that they're more fun to open. But what about the market a bit more broadly? I mean, it might be nice to make knives a bit more affordable for players who don't have one, but if you basically murder the market in the process, the juice probably isn't going to be worth the squeeze. I mean, the losers will be the players who own knives already. They're the ones who will pay the price, and they're typically dedicated CS players who are getting hit. And if we look at the market a bit more broadly, after the initial chaos, it has been a rough couple of months. Prices have not been going up, traders are publicly bitching that they're not making anything, and are they exaggerating? Possibly, but there's no doubt the market is in a rough place. But there's also some context to this too. First of all, the market can't always go up. There's been plenty of times in the past when the market has gone down for a few months, that's pretty natural. And secondly, the main reason prices were so expensive before the update was because Chinese traders were pumping skins like crazy. And that probably wasn't sustainable, and it's not a coincidence that the skins that have been the hardest hit are the ones that were pumped the most before. And while that does suck for people who own those skins, I am very suspicious that this kind of manipulation was what Valve were targeting with the trade-ups update. So taking the prices on these skins is probably something they're completely fine with. Now, just because Valve are fine with it doesn't mean it was the right move. I mean, sometimes it is okay to let people do stupid things, but I don't think a bad couple of months on the market is that much of a problem. Long term, I think what's happening now won't really matter that much. Now, another potential complaint is that this change represents a breach of trust with the player base. People buy skins and expect Valve won't do anything to fuck with the ecosystem, and if you fuck with the ecosystem, well, that makes people less willing to buy skins in the future. And this is a valid complaint, but the counterpoint is, in the grand scheme of things, Valve have actually been quite hands-off with skins. There's only ever really been two major market-changing changes to how skins work. This is one of them, the 7-day trade hold is the other, and it's not like skins aren't still up long-term. In fact, they're up by a hell of a lot. So, did this change suck for a lot of people? Yeah, but it's not like Valve are doing stuff like this every Tuesday. And also, couldn't you argue that this change has made skins more fun? I mean, the system when it comes to goals hadn't really changed over the last 10 years. This is a video game, and at a certain point, changes probably are necessary to keep the product kind of fresh. And there's been a lot of CS content produced around these new trade-ups. Doesn't that have some kind of inherent value for the game? People are clearly enjoying it. And looking at the whole picture, I just don't think this update was really a bad move. There were winners, there were losers, but overall, I think it has moved the whole system in a healthier direction. Short term, the market isn't doing too well, but long term, I really don't think it'll matter. But it should also be a reminder for everybody that skins are not a normal market. This is a video game, not a stock exchange, and you are at the mercy of the developer when it comes to skins. If they decide they're going to do something, there is not a whole lot you can do to stop it, and no matter what happens, a skin investment will always be extremely high risk. Anyway, that's pretty much it for this video. If you've enjoyed it, please like, comment, and subscribe, massively appreciated. Otherwise, trust the numbers, not your gut. I'm heyzeus, thanks for watching, see ya.